Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And this week, we're covering a whole lot of World Cup action, but there's been a lot of news in the footballing world as well. So, Amir, take it away.
Fantastic. Yeah, we're going to talk all World Cup, but firstly, Chavez, I'm coming to you. Big news last week. Glazers are out. So
Yep.
elaborate, please.
I can't believe those words are coming out of your mouth. um, so to start with, I think one of the big things that people have been getting wrong is that they're not giving Ronaldo the credit for it when I think he's the final trigger when it comes to the Glazers leaving. It came to a point where Ronaldo did his interview and the Glazers sort of started to realize that they were the reason why whatever financially was going wrong at that moment was because of the Glazers. And the moment they said that they would sell, it all went back to normal. So hats off to him. Hats off to the fans who've been doing everything for the last year. And Ronaldo's basically sacrificed himself to get us to this point. I said that because of that decision himself, what he did, he's probably the most important person in our history now. You can take away the credit as much as you like away from him. I'm someone who was annoyed that he did the interview to start with, but I acknowledge when something goes right, and it did work out, didn't it? So hands up, I apologize. Everything I've said about Ronaldo, on the pitch, he wasn't great this season, but anything he's done off the pitch is a million times more important than that. Getting the Glazers out is worth a thousand great performances. So hats off to him.
Fantastic. That kind of sums up the club football. But World Cup, it's been very good for me, despite everyone, a lot of people complaining, the 0-0s and all that. But where we left off last Monday, England played Iran, obviously wasn't good for me. But after that, we've had a few upsets. Saudi Arabia in Argentina. Any news Argentina? First thing, I'm just going to go around the countries. I know Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, but they brought it back against Mexico. The Messi goal on Enzo Fernandez. What do you lot think of?
I don't think they looked
Argentina
amazing against
Okay.
Mexico. Like, obviously, they 2-0 was a bit flattering, I feel.
They don't look strong
I
this
think
year, do they, Argentina? They just
no.
look like they
I
pass it
think they
about,
look
pass it
all
about,
right.
and they get breaking down quite easily.
I think for Mexico, it was a case of either like we're going to play against the name and not the team. Like in regards of we're playing Argentina, we'll sit back and then hit them with the pace on the counter attack. But Mexico have got a few good players.
Yeah, I think
and Argentina would have been very sore after the Saudi game, and
Absolutely.
they know that they had to win, which is obviously what they did.
I think the goals were good. They were good quality goals. The Enzo Fernandez, the Messi one, I guess, showing that he's carrying Argentina, especially with the first goal. But yeah, you're right. The first half was a bit cagey, wasn't it? It weren't great football. I guess the another team we can go on to. I think if we covered Argentina, what do you lot think? Do you think after the two set of games, I'm going to ask all you guys, do you think Argentina's still one of the favourites, like the main favourites, or not?
They're still up there. People still think they have a good chance of winning it, but
it's all down to Messi, though, isn't it?
Is it all like
yeah,
Messi?
I hate to say it, but
it's always been like that.
He's all right. You got Lautaro Martinez, he's all right. You've got who else? You got DePaul. He's a bit booky for the World Cup, in my opinion.
Didn't play well against Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a bit booky.
Copa America, yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. They might. I think. I don't know. I think after the first set of games, I think people obviously having their doubts. But the Saudi game was a blip. I think that Saudi players play well, etc. Another team that had a bit of an upset was Japan beating Germany. Didn't you guys catch that game? And obviously, yeah, and then obviously, thanks, Sam. And also, Germany Spain was 1-1. What do you lot think of Germany? Because their position in round 16 looks. Until
It's better now, though, isn't it?
The Spain game didn't look great. Yeah.
There was a time where it was worse. Now I think they'll be fine now.
Yeah.
That goal is so huge. That guy who scored it, Fulkrug, or whatever his name is. But it was nice to see. I think people don't realize the magnitude of what we saw in the midfield, because for the next few years it's going to be Pedri, Gavi, and Musiala. Yeah, they are incredible. All three of them. Pedri and Gavi are just in their own planet. But
Pedri, yeah.
Yeah, Musiala's just come through as well now. And yeah, it was great to see them now. Who knows how far they're going to go in this year, but we'll see them in future World Cups, in latter stages of Champions Leagues. So that was a good point of the game to see.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit of a shock if they do go out in the group stages like they did in 2018. But we'll see that who they got in the final game. I think it's Costa Rica, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's funny though, because obviously if Germany did lose that game, they would have been out completely. So they, as you said,
about the 80th minute when Morata scored, you're right, they were out. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Completely skinned it by their teeth. So they actually need to beat Costa Rica. But then again, if Japan beat Spain, they're out, I think.
No, but I think they also need a big goal swing as well, don't they?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is
So
it
they
Yeah.
need to beat Costa Rica like 6-0 as well, and Spain to lose. To no,
No,
well, yeah,
I think if
yeah.
they
win,
just
might
beat
as
it,
well
they'll
win
be
the
on
group.
4 points. No, I think they've
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they
no,
win,
it's
but
in
no, I
their
think it's to
hands.
win.
No, for Spain to go out. Sorry, that's
Oh,
Spain
for
to go
Spain
out.
to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Spain won't go. Spain look incredible right now.
Yeah, that's
They're one of
mad,
the
yeah.
one of the countries that actually look like a club is playing in the World Cup right now. Which I guess they have many Barca
It's that
players, but
Barca midfield, isn't it?
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
astonishing. It's really high
I
level.
also think we've got a good manager as well. I like Luis Enrique. Another
Can I-
country, one of the go on now.
No, sorry, I just wanted to say something about today's game, not Uruguay, South Korea versus Ghana. I just wanted to say that was a very, very interesting and great to watch game of football. I absolutely love the game. The last 15 minutes of that match, I think it was 2, and then Ghana got like a cheeky goal from Kudo, and then South Korea were all over Ghana for that last 15-20 minute period, and it was so good to watch because it was just constant attack.
Plus the 20
Kudos.
minutes, 10 minutes injury time as well.
Yeah, but honestly, they were all over them, and it's quite like obviously South Korea. What have they got now? No, they got 1
No.
point because obviously they drew to Uruguay now. Ghana on
Yeah.
3, Portugal on 3. So you have to wait to
Group's
see if
looking
Uruguay
tasty, yeah.
have to do a job against Portugal. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Another big top country I want to speak on that I think are in a major decline is Belgium. They did script the 1-0 against Canada. I thought Canada were quite unfortunate. But what do you not think of Belgium? And I think Kevin De Bruyne had some comments as well, didn't he, about the country, about how they're aging, etc. They're not going to go far.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk beforehand. Like I heard this when they was talking about them, like on the actual punditry. There was a lot of noise coming from like Belgian fans and people back home, just saying that it's a very aging squad, and it's almost like they're just trying to push their golden generation.
Just squeeze
for the
every
sake
last inch.
Yeah, like a second last hurrah, because you think last time out they got quite far, but we're talking 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the sake of bringing the names as opposed to bringing the players.
Yeah, I agree. Because obviously,
absolutely.
2-0 against Morocco. I mean, who would have thought? No offense,
Morocco
obviously. You
look
guys
good.
think
Morocco's got
yeah,
good
yeah,
team.
no, it's props to them. But would you have thought going into that game? Would you have thought Morocco would have beat Belgium?
Yeah,
Probably
no.
not.
And Morocco,
Come on,
like, the second highest team in the tournament, ranked team in the tournament. And Belgium are second in the world, I think, still, aren't they? Belgium.
Yeah, they're not worthy of that second place. But yeah.
They were first.
Another country who, anything else?
No, I was going to say, like, with the ranking, they were first for a while, which is obviously not really deserved. Rankings don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Apart from Qatar, they should be up now.
Wales are 19th somehow. Country I do my first tour at France, absolutely dominating both teams. They look the big deal, don't they? Without the Pogba, the Kantés, the Benzemas. Giroud also matching Henry's record for all-time goal scorer. So, what do you lot think of that?
It's tough because obviously you think they're going to go through a curse like that, like everyone does when they win the World Cup, isn't it? Like when Germany won in 2014 and then went out in 2018. Spain did the same in 2010 and went out in 2014. You would have thought, because they won in 2018, is the curse going to continue? But no, they're a solid candidate for the World Cup again, and it's crazy. It's weird to see though, because obviously, as you said, you got the likes of Benzema out, Pogba out, Kanté out. Obviously, Varane wasn't playing the first game, but they still managed to get a result out of that. Obviously, what's his name? Lucas Hernandez tore his ACL. When his little brother came in straight away, it's like replacing one with another. They're both as good as each other.
I think Benzema can come back as well, and that's another thing. He's apparently injury free now, and he's in the squad. He hasn't been removed. He's the 26th man. So if you add Benzema to that, and you wouldn't put it past them, would you?
It works, doesn't it? The team's working. I think France are probably going to end up winning it. And Mbappe's 1 goal behind Messi. How crazy is that? 7 goals.
Did you retract your statement, Daniel, of Haaland's better than Mbappe?
No.
Yeah, please do. What? Dan, stop that.
Please do that. We're still waiting for the apology.
Time will tell.
No apology.
Time is telling. Yeah.
No, time will tell.
I think is there only fitting for the last section we talk about Group B, because it's the group we all watch the most, isn't it? If we want to speak Iran or England first, I don't mind. I think England was boring. We can start there.
Yeah,
0-0. Terrible performance by England. Rumor has it Henderson over Bellingham tomorrow as well.
That's confirmed.
What do you lot think? What do you think? Is it get this guy out now?
No,
Get him
because
out?
it's. Do you know what? I'll tell you why. That result was outstanding for England. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to align
What?
your. No. You're going to have to align your aims and goals with the manager. The manager was over the moon, I bet, with the draw, because now you're basically there. Now, what you'll be doing tomorrow is aiming to not lose 4-0. Because if you don't lose 4-0 tomorrow, you're through. So you're aiming for a minimum 3-0 loss tomorrow. This is how Southgate thinks. And it's disgusting. It's a crime to the sport. It's terrorism, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
I do think, though, I just want to say, because obviously due to that absolutely appalling performance, I think we need to use a lot of the players who haven't even played their first game. As you mentioned, we have to get Phil Foden on, Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale, or Nick Pope. Get who else? Do you know what I mean? Get all
the
these
defense is okay.
No, I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying get these players out because, as you said, we're more or less through. Get them the game time. Because then, if something does come shocking where someone does get injured on the pitch, at least they're ready. They've had a bit of game time instead of coming on like bare and just going, "Oh, what do I do now?"
Mm-hmm. I mean, this 0-0 mirrors the Scotland 0-0, doesn't it, from last Euros where we were all complaining, etc. But they pulled through and got to the final, didn't they?
Go one step further.
No one remembers it after a while. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Incredible result for Southgate. Not so much.
It's a USA 0-0 win.
Well, yeah. And who keeps James Corden? I think everyone keeps James Corden at this point.
Could you just cut him in half? Cut him in half and keep half. Solve the issue.
Fair enough. I don't know what it was with England that game. Just I thought the press by the US was crazy. From what I saw.
They learned from their first game. As I don't know. Did you watch the America Wales game?
I did. I caught a bit of it. Yeah.
For the first half, America didn't stop running for 45 minutes, and then in the second half, I don't know what they were doing, but they weren't playing football. They weren't running. They weren't closing. They just I don't know what sport they were. They were playing they weren't even playing walking football. It's terrible. But they learned. They were conservative.
Sorry, then. They're gone.
Interrupt. Well, good. They were just conservative against us, and while still pressing, and they had 3 or 4 good chances. Which, as you said, against maybe an Mbappe, because our route, if all goes to plan, we've got France maybe in the round of 16, or is it quarters?
Ecuador.
I think it's quarters.
Yeah, we play Ecuador
if
quarters, yeah. Could still be Holland.
But yeah, no. I was just going to say, I just wanted to say, Amir, obviously, I remember even before the World Cup started, even a month or two before it started, we put Mason Mount in one of the worst 11 the league season before even the World Cup started, and it was absolutely shocking.
He played all right against US. He had a chance.
He had a chance.
He runs around.
He just runs around and does nothing. He does nothing. He just runs.
I think watch his game.
What did he do?
He's a depresser. Is what he is. He's a
that man needs to be replaced by Foden as a number 10. And if Southgate keeps saying he doesn't play at FSC, who cares, bruv? He used to. He played as a centre forward, didn't he? And then Pep put him out to left wing for some reason.
You just got Mason Mount agenda. It's cool. It's cool. No,
Chavez, you know how much of a terrorist that Mason Mount is.
You'll learn one day. It's fine.
Learn what, mate? You've got a player. Would you not start? Okay, next game, would you start Foden or Mount? Okay, World Cup final, you start Foden or Mount. Yeah, so exactly. That our issue isn't with Mount being terrible, but
I started in the semi-final, and that probably would be Mason Mount.
Yeah, but what's your heart want?
You want the better player.
My heart.
Yeah.
Foden is better, but Mount fits better in that team.
No, he don't.
So yeah.
Apparently not, anyway.
Because it's so negative.
Exactly. But yeah, no.
It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if Southgate brings out Hendo and Mount in a pivot tomorrow. That wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if Harry Maguire goes up on tomorrow.
We'll get your reaction tomorrow to that. And I guess the last place to finish is
top us off, Amir. Go on.
Iran. Deflated last week. You lot saw me deflated. Weren't a 6. Didn't feel like we could have conceded 6. We did. We weren't organised, and then the Wales game on Friday caught me off guard. We 2-0'd it. Cheshmi and Rezan scored. We played well the whole game. I think we deserved it. I think the USA game is going to be crazy. It's going to be the biggest game of Iran's World Cup history. But it's probably the biggest game in Iran's history. See what happens there.
Would you say that was the best day? Sorry. What was that the best day in Iran's history of football? Beating Wales 2-0.
I don't know, because in the 70s they won 3 Asia Cups. That might have been better. Or they did beat America in 98, and I weren't alive for that, so I can't comment. But probably in my lifetime, yeah. Probably,
the best in your lifetime, probably.
In my 100% I've never seen us play like that, especially against a team like Wales who have a Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey. And what I did want to move on to, and it's not Iran's performance, is Wales. What do you lot think of Wales and
They
Gareth
are
Bale? And...
poor. Everyone was poor.
Would you like me
Joe
to weigh in on
Allen,
my thoughts?
why is he playing for Wales? He
Yeah.
is so bad.
Dan,
Oh.
what would you as a nation? What
As a
did you
place,
think?
as a place, full stop.
Imagine beating Welsh.
I feel like not denying Gareth Bale's quality, but he's almost like he's become like a moment player. Like the penalty against America, that was him. Or you seen a couple of weeks ago in the MLS when he scored the equaliser, was it, or the winner to take it to pens or win, like
Well, the
that.
free
Like
kick against England in
he's
2016.
almost like Ronaldo. Again, not comparing the two, but Ronaldo was at the end of his thing at Madrid, and it was like it's all about me. He was there. He was always the moment type player.
Is that the vibe you're getting here again?
Yeah.
Do you think they should just?
But yeah, but the squad depth and quality isn't obviously there.
They've
And
got Prem players.
Yeah, but the 7 or 8 of them are English.
All right, they still play for Wales. That's what the important thing.
It's an inside job.
Yeah, no.
But actually, before we move on, Shabazz, thoughts on Dan James, your best mate, playing in the World Cup?
Yeah, good.
Same caps as Martinelli, isn't it? He's got more caps than Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah, shut up.
Very, very quickly, I know we're going to wrap up now. One country you guys have impressed you in this World Cup. I'm going to start Morocco. Quickly,
England.
a country.
England
has surprised you. Okay.
Ecuador.
Ecuador, very not. And Chavez, what about you before we do close off?
Cameroon today, unbelievable.
Fantastic. We'll see Uruguay, Portugal as well today. I think a Portugal win. You guys,
Probably.
Portugal win. Or...
Ronaldo,
Probably.
quintet, 5 goals in.
Fair enough. And that's the best place to end it. Go on, Dan, very quickly.
4 draw.
4 draw, and that's the way we're going to end it today.
4 draw.